morning, fellow fish freaks. Wise guy here for Fish Behind Glass. Starting off the show with the very first tank that I ever had that got me started in the hobby. I've had this tank for about 5 years. This particular plant has propagated it enough to where it is here. It's in this tank. It's in my big tank. It's in my 20-gallon long tank. So it's about a 5-year-old tank. Over time, it's gone over changes. This tank has been used for a breeding tank, for holding fry, and it started off with this tank and a guppy for me. So starting off on an old personal memory there, but I'm working on new memories now, and right now my new memory is dealing with fungus in my 20-gallon lawn. So I'm dealing with fungus in my 20-gallon lawn. I've got cotton wool on one of my fish. I had it on another fish, but that fish didn't make it. I'm treating it, so I documented what I did to treat this tank, and I'm not totally done with treating it yet, but I figured I'd go ahead and put it in this episode and see how it comes out. If by the time this comes out it's not totally cured yet, I will do an update later on. The other thing is, the question in this episode is how do you feel about fish as a hobby? Are fish pets, or is fish keeping a hobby? Is it more of one or the other? What's your personal feeling on it? But first, let's see what I had to do to get rid of that Fungus Amungus. Basically, after my last video that I made, this tank here started giving me a hard time. I had a couple fish disappear, and I was filming this tank one day and everybody was fine. The next morning, 2 fish are gone. And I looked around in there, I couldn't find them. Then my dwarf Grommy started showing signs of cotton wool on the side of his head. My flame tetra, it started showing signs of having fungus on it. So I got on it right away. I cleared the entire tank out because I looked for those stupid fish, could not find them. Cleared everything out, found the 2 little fish. They were covered in fungus, so they were really screwing up my water quality, which is then just going to help the fungus spread that much better. So what I ended up doing is I did a 50% water change, and I went ahead and I treated my tank with Marison Plus from Mardell. I don't get paid by these guys or anything, but I've used this before and it worked in my 36-gallon tank, so I'm giving it a shot in this one. I treated it yesterday. So actually today is day 2, and the way you treat this is you treat it one day, skip a day, treat it on the 3rd day, and treat it on the 5th day. So what I did is I did a 50% water change, treated the water. Today I'm not going to do anything with the water. It's going to be a general day. I've already seen in day 2 a huge improvement on both of those 2 fish. I did lose 1 platy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the next part how I'm going to dose it, and it's going to be the same thing. 50% water change, put in the new water, and I'm going to add the medication. The other thing that I'm doing to kind of change things up, I've been trying to get this water level to where it's just solid water. You don't see a water line. And I think the surface wasn't being agitated enough. And that was causing problems as far as, I think, the fish having enough oxygen. What I did is I lowered my water a little bit, and I'm going to get more agitation on the surface from my filter. If that's not enough, I will also add a little water fan. I raised the temperature up just 2 degrees over the course of 2 days, and that's helped with the fish as well. Everybody's perked up. I just need to make sure my water quality stays good and that my surface is being agitated enough. And with the medication, that should clear up the problem. It's worked for me before. So I'm going to show how that works in this next little segment. Okay, so it's day 5. Treating the water one more time. My one Brahmi here, he's been hanging in there. I can still treat it again if I feel that it has to go a little bit longer. His fungus cleared up. He actually ended up with just 2 small spots. They kind of came together, and hopefully this next treatment will take care of it. So again, 50% water change, then I'm going to do the treatment. If I get this video up before the final results, I will update probably on the next video. So if you look at this and watch this video, you'll see that the treatment is pretty easy. So far it's been fairly effective. It's been effective in my other tank. He still has a little bit of the fungus, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so here's where I'm going to add the medication. It's basically 2 capfuls per 10 gallons. So I got to put 4 capfuls of this into this water. So I'm going to go ahead and do the time lapse so that you can see the way the water does get cloudy at first, but it does clear up pretty quick. Okay, so it's day 7. I skipped day 6, that's the day that you don't do anything. Day 7, I kind of consider the last day of treatment because I'll do one more water change and that should get most of the medicine out of the water. The day 6 didn't go too well actually. My dwarf Brahmi, who had the fungus on him, he did get clear of the fungus, but he didn't make it through the, I guess, the medication. So he ended up not making it. He passed away. So I did what any real fish keeper would do. And I took them back to the store and got them replaced with this old ram. So the lesson learned here is sometimes things just don't go your way in this hobby. You try to learn from it, and sometimes you can still end up with a nice fish. Fish pump. So that last segment could be why some people just don't get why we keep fish. And in a way I can understand it, because they say it's a lot of work and this and that. And really it's true, with fish does come some effort. And to me that's what makes it more of a hobby than just having a pet. You know, any other pet, basically, if it got loose, it could possibly survive on its own. Whereas fish, they're completely different. Now I realize people dump their fish in rivers and stuff and they can take over. But that's not what I'm talking about. But without that tank right there, those fish are not going to live. And so it's really not just knowing about fish, but knowing about water and a little bit of science and know-how and things like that. So to me it's more of like a hobby. But you might be a person that feels it's more of a pet. So I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. Leave a comment about whether you think fish are more pets or it's more of a hobby. And I'd even accept like an answer that was a blend of the two. So please leave a comment. So trying to look at the bright side of things, you know, even though I had that problem with the fungus, I did get the one fish out of it, and I did end up rescaping my tank as well. So here's a little bit of video of that rescape and some other general fish video that I have before we call it a show. So if you like the show, you like this video, you like the little segment, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have any comments or you have any questions, please leave a comment. I try to answer as many as I can. So until next time, fish pump.